What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a late review for Sistas, you guys. This is season number 7. This is episode number 19, you guys. This episode was titled It Takes a Village. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Sistas, shall we? All right, you guys. So there are 3 more episodes left until the end of the season, and I am ecstatic about it, you guys. Because this show and this episode, it didn't really, well, yes, it did. It annoyed me at the end of it, but we'll get to it once we get to it. So this episode, it opens up and we're with Jordan. So Jordan is going through the motions of a breakup, right? He's sitting on a couch, he's listening to sad music, he's pigging out and all that kind of stuff, right? So he got a phone, his phone started ringing and it was a blocked call and he was ignoring it at first, but the person kept calling back, so he eventually answered it. And on the other line, it was Penelope, right? So he asked her, where she was. She told him, I can't say. He said, are you okay? But she did let him know that she is fine, right? So she asked him if he's talked to Andy, and he said that it was weeks ago. Now, the one thing that I will give the writers credit for is the fact that we don't stick on one day for 6 episodes. So I'm happy with that, but the writing is still it's terrible. And I did see one of the writers tweeted this past week about how proud they were of this episode, and I was like, "You're proud of this?" But okay. But I also know that from what I've heard that they still have to go through Tyler before the script gets final approval, and that's a problem. It's like trust these people to write this show without your input. Like that is a huge issue for me. But you guys let me know what you guys think, right? So he asked Penelope about the baby, and she said that she lost the baby. And I wish she would have just said, Gary pushed me down and I lost the baby, but neither she didn't say it, right? So he told her that he and Andy had broken up, and she was basically telling him, like, you know, that doesn't sound like Andy, so you need to go fight for her. And I was like, girl, you don't even really know Andy like that, but okay. All right, right. So Karen's baby shower. It's the day of her baby shower. We see Maurice is at the baby shower. You guys remember that Pam and Sabrina were the ones that were putting on the baby shower. I did not understand why Pam had that big ass sign with roots to riches or rags to riches or whatever the hell the name of her product is, right? We saw that now, and I was with Maurice. I was like, why are you plugging this at a baby shower? So ghetto, but whatever. Whatever. Um, but yeah, so we see that everybody was there. Well, no, everybody wasn't there. The only people that were at the baby shower at this current time was Danny, Maurice, and Pam. And I had the question about why Maurice is there. Maurice is friends with Sabrina. He's not really friends with Karen, but you know, I guess we had to put the whole cast together, and that's what they did. But okay, cool, I guess, right? So then we see Rich and Tony over at um Jordan's crib, right? At first, Jordan was ignoring them, and so they went and honked the horn of his car, which his window was down. And I was like, wow. So somebody could have just jumped into your car, hot wired it, and drove off with it. Okay. What I will say is, you guys, if I mean, you guys have been watching me, you guys know how I feel. I don't like Tony. I don't like Rich even more, but I really don't like Tony. And I did not like the fact that Tony referred to Andy as a bitch. I was like, dude, that was why do you have to call her a bitch? I don't care how you feel about her and the fact that her and your friend breaking up, that was disrespectful. And throughout this conversation with Tony and Rich, I felt like they were both disrespectful of Andy. And it's like, okay, y'all can have y'all feelings about Andy, but she broke up with him. It ain't like she cheated on him. She broke up with the man. I don't like. I don't like them. I really don't like them. I really don't. And so, at one point, Jordan was talking about he doesn't know if he wants to continue to run for city council. And I was like, oh, who cares? Because I definitely don't, right? But once again, his boys, they trying to tell him, forget Andy. Like, do this for you and for the people. And I was like, okay, whatever. And they're like, but we got to get ready for the baby shower. And so they eventually left, right? So then we see, so you guys have to let me know in the comments section, what is this guy's name that I forgot his name last week because I really wasn't listening like that to hear his name. But the guy who is at the bank with Sabrina that's doing the interview with her for the newsletter, he showed up and I was like, this writing right here is so predictable. Like you could literally see the writings on the wall with this whole situation with Sabrina. So, excuse me, y'all. The man is clearly flirting with Sabrina, and then he asked her if she found a sperm donor. And I'm just like, I know you playing with me right now. So she said no, she hadn't found a sperm donor. So then this man who doesn't know Sabrina from a can of paint asked Sabrina, could he be her sperm donor? I was like, I knew this was gonna happen. Girl, let's not have another situation like Karen's about that like Karen is having. Because I really feel like Sabrina's already pregnant by Rich. And if she goes through with this process of IVF with this man, she's gonna have twins. I'm like, please let's not do this storyline a second time. But then, like I said, this storyline right here was the writings were on the wall. Like it was obvious what they were doing. When that man in last week's episode on an interview is talking about the fact that he wants kids and he wants a lot of kids. Like, sir, sir, Ryder and Tyler, why? That is the only question that I have. Is why? Why do we need this? But hey, it is what it is. So then we move over to Fatima and Zach, you guys. So with Fatima and Zach, they're getting ready for the baby shower, and Fatima is putting on her makeup, but Fatima is reluctant to go to this baby shower. And I honestly don't blame Fatima, right? Because you're not even married to Zach at this point. You're still technically Zach's fiance, and you're now playing stepmommy to Michael. You then are dealing with this situation with him, Karen, and Aaron, where Karen is pregnant by him and Aaron, and it's just you're with at this point, Zach is a baby daddy, and I know I think I heard somebody say that the writer said that they weren't going to introduce Fatima being pregnant on this show, which I don't understand why not, because the shows they should be intertwined. Because at one point, I remember hearing that Zatima and Sisters were in on two different timelines, or not timelines. They were you guys know, like when it comes to like Marvel and stuff like that, Marvel, Power Rangers, and things of that nature. They have different quote dimensions, right? And this is kind of what they were saying with Zatima and Sisters, that they're not in the same time. They're not the same show. Well, I know they're not the same show, but they're not in the same universe, so to speak, right? And I just like, what the hell? But then but then we introduce old girl from Zatima, Angela, over here. So I'm like, they gotta be. But then I hear, you know what? I don't watch. I stopped watching Zatima season one. I didn't even get to the finale. And with Sisters, this is just gonna be the end of the road this season. So I honestly don't care. So it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, Fatima said that she didn't want to go, and Zach was like, "Well, if you don't want to go, then I'll tell everybody at the party that something came up." And then Fatima was like, "But with Karen invited me, so Fatima just wants to put her best foot forward with Karen." And I was like, "I get it. If Karen, I get what she's saying. If Karen was the issues that Karen has with Fatima, if Karen was able to set aside her issues and actually invite me to the baby shower, then why can't I go?" So I definitely do get it. I will say this nice persona with Karen. I wonder how long it's gonna last because we've saw this from Karen before, and it didn't last that long. Because the last the first half of this season, when Zach and Karen, not Zach and Karen, Zach and Fatima, when they got Michael and Karen and went over there with them clothes, being nice to Fatima, I was like, okay, we're moving forward. But then we take two steps back and she's back again having animosity with Fatima. And I still don't understand her true animosity for Fatima because it's not like she and Fatima were girlfriends at the time that she and Zach got together. Fatima didn't know y'all, but Fatima did eventually meet y'all, and she was telling y'all about the guy she was dating, but she never said his name until y'all saw Fatima and Zach in the grocery store that episode, and that's when Karen lost her mind. But neither here nor there, right? But Fatima says she's gonna go to the party. So then we we move over to the law office with Hayden and Andy. Andy is spaced out, and I'm just like, girl, put your game face on, right? Hayden, you really need to put your game face on because you're playing sloppily and stupid. So you want to sit here and say that your PI has gotten you some information that you believe that Marie's husband is sleeping with his assistant. And I was like, okay, this is a divorce. And at this point, it's a very contentious divorce. So, the same way that you guys have a private investigator on her husband, don't you think that his attorney is doing the same thing with you guys? And I'm pretty positive his attorney knows what hotel she stayed in, probably knew that you went into said hotel room, knows that you're her said attorney, and you didn't come out to the next day. You rolled to the office with her. She rolled to the office with you. Stupid, 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 stupid. Like I just was really sitting there and thinking to myself, like, this is written so poorly. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, you guys. So yeah, that it just makes no sense to me. That's all I have to say. But let's move on. So my God, today, what was that hideous outfit that Karen has on to go to this baby shower? I just kept looking at it like, who in wardrobe said, "Oh yeah, this is the look for Karen for the baby shower"? It looked like a choir robe. It looked like a shower curtain. It looked like curtains. It just was horrendous, 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 horrendous. Right. So Karen and Miss Lisa, they left to go to the baby shower together. Karen and Miss Lisa, they were just talking about how good Karen kind of has it with the fact that she has this village of people that are going to love on her twins and be there for her, right? And I was like, okay, if that's what you want to say, cool. Because Ms. Lisa said she didn't have that when it came to Karen. And I was like, okay, I really don't care. So then we get to the baby shower. So we have a bunch of random people there, as well as Tony and Rich were there. Fatima and Zach, Danny was there. Danny told um, Zach to go speak to Tony and Rich. He went over there, introduced himself to Tony and Rich, and they were asking, since you've been in this group of around these women for a long time, what is your best advice with them? And Tony, I'm not Tony, but Zach told them, with these women, expect the unexpected, right? And then Andy showed up to the baby shower. Andy showed up to the baby shower the same way she was in that office with Ms. Marie. And I was like, Andy, if you don't want people to think that something is wrong, then my God, never mind. Because Andy, for you to be an attorney, you are so dense. And I just don't understand why they write Andy the way they write her. Like, never mind. And we also found out that, so it's been 2 weeks, because ain't nobody really saw Andy in the past 2 weeks. I was like, so where the hell has she been? Like, girl, you've been up under Gary for okay, never mind. Here we go with it's just the way that they write. I don't like the way that they write certain things, and it irritates me. But it is what it is, right? It truly is what it is. Once again, Tony and Rich. It ain't like she cheated on your boy. She broke up with him. She is entitled to break up with whoever she wants to break up with. But I don't understand why y'all are upset with her and giving her the cold shoulder. Like, and especially you, Tony. Sir, you ain't got no room to, never mind. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Maurice. Maurice was being his typical extra self when they just when he was tasting the baby food. It is what it is. We find out that Karen is having girls. Congratulations to her. She asked Danny and Sabrina to be the godmothers to her daughters. Congratulations, they accepted. Then this scene that I still am sitting here thinking to myself, what the hell? So Hayden went home to Tamara. Tamara greeted Hayden at the door with kisses, right? Mind you, there was no tongue. I didn't see any tongue. It was just pecks on the lip. And so he pushed Tamara off of him. And she was like, wait, what's going on here? So then Tamara is, feeling something in her mouth. And she pulls out, quote unquote, a gray pubic hair. I was like, are you fucking joking with me? So, how in the, so never, okay. So you're telling me that Hayden went down on Ms. Marie. Ms. Marie has some pubic hair that is okay, never, some gray pubic hair that was loose in his and got in his mouth, and he didn't know it was in his mouth all this time. He get home, he kissed his wife, and just so happened he swaps the gray pubic hair in his wife's mouth. Okay. Mm, okay, this scene right here. Yeah, dumb, 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 dumb. I was just like, what the fuck, man? What? You know what? Let's move on. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it on up. So, again, here we are with Karen and Fatima. Karen is, she was saying some nice things to Fatima. She said some nice things to Andy. The things that she said to Fatima, I was like, how long is this gonna last with Karen, right? But after the baby shower, Karen and Fatima were talking about Andy, and Fatima doesn't really know what's going on with Andy, but she knows that something's not right. So they both put their heads together about that. And then out of nowhere, Gary comes up on the fucking elevator. Gary comes up on the elevator, and they're like, Gary, what are you doing here? And everybody's telling Gary, like, get the hell out, Gary. And Fatima was like, Gary, get out before you get hurt. And he told Zach, put a muzzle on your bitch. And Zach was like, bitch, don't call my woman a bitch. So he said, well, I wanted to invite all of you to my wedding. And I think it was Fatima who said, what dumb bitch would marry you? I was like, your boss. And he said, oh, well, allow me to introduce you guys to my fiance, Andy Barnes. I was like, Andy. I ain't got much to say about Andy. I really don't have much to say about this episode after that. But I want you guys to just tell me what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.